Here we go. So, hello, Coach Tina Marie here, and I am answering some questions that I have from some of our couples that we work with. And the question came forward because this time of year, we do a lot of our own goal planning. We do inventory of the year that we've just had, what was working, what didn't work so well, and what would you love to change. And typically, goal planning is in the direction of the individual. And so the question that came forward was, how do couples do goal planning? Do you have any tips, Tina Marie, toward helping myself and my beloved do goal planning together? So that's what we're talking about right now. I made some notes. So we work with couples all the time, and goal planning, whenever it comes to working with your beloved, could get to a place where it might be a little triggery. So we want to hold with honor and respect a couple key points. And I wanted to bring some awareness to those. First, whenever we are inviting our beloved to do some goal planning with us, we want to make certain that the energy that we're doing it in, and maybe the tonality and even the word choice, isn't something where it seems as though it's a have to. That, hey, I am going to be doing my goals and I'd love to do it with you. Let's do it together. I mean, one person could hold the energy for both. And we do want to check in and make sure that the other person is engaged and willing and very much receptive to this exercise and group of exercises at the same time. If they're having any resistance, we want to be honoring and respectful of that and say, fair enough, it may not be the right time for you. Let's find a great time. Would you still love to do it together? Instead of like, or should we do it together? Would you love to do this together? And if so, find time on both of your calendars where it fits. Also, set aside enough time. We don't want to rush through this. This is our lives that we're building together, and they're very important. So, we have distractions. Life comes with distractions at any time, right? So we want to make sure that we're going to have probably a 90-minute window would be a minimum that I would have you start with. And then, 2 hours would be beautiful, and even longer of uninterrupted time. So if you have kiddos at home, and you can find someone else to take the kiddos for a while, or come over to your house and they're watching the kiddos while you and your beloved go to a place where you can find some sacredness, some stillness, and some place where you feel safe to dive into goal planning. Now, goal planning can easily be things that we haven't gotten done this year and we want to get done next year. We just move that down the road and still pursue the check mark. Not so energizing. For those that are on our newsletter list, you did receive this morning, check your junk mail, our newsletter from Bonfire Coaching. And in there, it had a video from me, yours truly, helping you understand how to do an exercise that I love, and it's called soul storming. So instead of brainstorming, which most people say, let's brainstorm what we want, I'd rather you soul storm what you want, what you would love, right? And then there's a PDF that goes with that take you through the soul storming exercise. So that would be a first step. I would love for you and your beloved to each individually do soul storming. Sometimes I've seen couples say, let's do it together. Oh, the excitement. Oh, and so then you do the thing together, and somebody may have a part of their life that they're still hesitant to share, or they think or judge that if I go into that it's not going to be inclusive of the other, or maybe they'll judge that goal that I want, that vision, that dream that I have. So I'm just going to hold back. So instead, what I ask is that you each do the soul storming exercise individually. Go have your quiet time, take about 20, 30 minutes and do the soul storming exercise. Then you come together and you share. Gentlemen, let the ladies go first. It's a gentlemanly thing to do. And for those that are in a same-sex partnership, you would decide who would be that first person to go and hold that sacred space. One way that I've seen people do it is that they would stream all the way through and share everything. Listen, one person's listening, the other person's sharing. And the person who's listening can mark notes like, oh, you said this, that's cool. So give space to take notes, still while listening, not just head down taking notes, still listening. And you can even frame that and say, I'm going to take notes. As you're sharing, I'm going to take notes. And then when that person's finished, you make some more additions or notes or things of that nature. If it coincided with something that was already on your sheet, you put a star by it, because that's a common ground, which is very powerful. And then the other person would be the one going and reading through their list, while the first person now listens and also writes notes, right? Then at the end of the shares, you would then talk about it. How was that? What came through? What'd you notice? Now, the trick here, honestly, is to stay energy rich. Keep breath in your body, shoulders back, be receptive, because that lower mind can come in and say, well, wait a second, I don't want to do that. Are they going to do that by themselves? Or then it can even trigger, like, one person say, I want to finish my PhD, and the other person, we don't have money for that. How you expect me to take care of the kids while you go get your PhD? You hear it, right? So that lower mind can trigger. We want to hit the pause button and let the lower mind sit in the corner, because this is the time to listen, to be receptive of your beloved, to really take it all in, because we're simply in the design phase. And once we're in the design phase, everything is possible. Everything is possible, right? Stay open-minded, keep breathing. If you feel yourself getting triggered, you can hit a pause and say, I love you. And the truth is, I need to take a little bitty walk. I'm feeling myself triggered. I don't know why. There needs not be a story behind our triggers, because the truth is, anything that is triggering us is hurt, and hurt is typically an illusion. It's something from the past. It's something that is just baggage, right? So we do not want that baggage or those old belief systems or the limiting beliefs or the limiting mantras to plague our current state. We want to be able to hit the pause button and say, let me take a breath. I simply need to get back in state again. I'm listening to you. I value you. I love you. I honor you. I respect you. I trust you. I want to do this. As when we say things out loud of that accord, it programs that old limiting mind to listen and regroove the record, right? It's a whole different story. So I trust you, I respect you, I honor you, I want to do this. I love you. I'm glad we're doing this. It may just trigger me a little bit. It's old stuff. Let me take a breath. And sometimes when you go take a walk, I know I've been there, right? I've been there. So the goals and the visions, we are individuals first. We are individuals first before we are a couple. So give each other permission. Give each other beautiful permission. And it would sound something like this. I love you, and I want you to dive into this and go for the full expression of your individual soul. And I can't wait to connect and support you on that. Go full in. And whatever comes through is beautiful. It's going to be beautiful. Trust that they're talking to their soul through these exercises. And that is amazingly powerful, right? So we're individuals first, and we support each other. The universe brought us together as a couple because we are here to support each other, not compete with each other, not conflict with each other, not judge each other, not complain about each other. The universe brought us together because love was there and is there. And we must fight for love. And we know that love always wins. So allow the other person to completely feel free. Not that you can do that for them, you give them the framework of it, right? Then know that through our goals and our visions, through those dreams, those wants, those desires, the things that we would love, we are getting our needs met. And for those that have been working with Bonfire, you understand very well what the human needs are and then what the soul's needs are. The human needs are certainty, which is safety, uncertainty, which is variety, and significance, which is, am I living my purpose? They're all beautiful needs. However, those three can create a level of energy of stuckness or neutrality, living a mundane life. We want to move what we call above the line, true love and connection, passionate love and connection, meaningful love and connection, and growth, and then contribution. When a couple can merge their wants, their needs, their desires, their longing, their goals, their visions above the line with true love and connection, passionate love and connection, with energy richness, and with growth. So each person grows individually, and then they can grow and contribute to each other as a whole. And maybe together they contribute to something even greater than the individuals and even greater than their coupling. There is amazing magic in that relationship. Now, the lower mind will definitely fear change. I'm reading my notes. The lower mind will definitely fear change. It simply does. It's supposed to. That's what it's for. The lower mind is for survival. The higher mind is for thrival. So simply know that it's going to come up. It does. We need not judge it because the lower mind is here. It's a primal state. It's our reptilian brain, the lower part of our brain. You have to get through the reptilian brain to get to the higher brain. So simply know it's a passage. It's a passage through previous darkness to get to the light. Fair enough? So as couples, we hold and honor that whenever that lower mind's triggering, we can tell each other, it's like, whoa, my lower mind's triggering right now. Interesting. Cool. What's it saying? Ugh, it's saying that we don't have enough money for this. That's kind of funny, isn't it? Who knows if you have enough money for it? That's old stuff. You could win the lottery tomorrow. You can get a new job tomorrow. You can dream up an amazing idea tomorrow. Money is fluid. It's the law of circulation. So the resources that we have are all an illusion. It's the resourcefulness in which we approach life that brings the resources to us. So trust each other, right? Trust each other's abilities. That doubt of our partner is old stuff, and it wants to tell the story of the future. We do not know the future. We really don't. We get to stay in each present moment and build that future together. So with energy richness, the old stories do not plague our relationships. Will there be uncertainty? Yes, uncertainty is adventure. It's awesome. That's where we can grow. The instability of the uncertainty is exactly where magic comes from and creation comes from and wonder comes from and fascination comes from. Remember a time where you traveled to a place where you'd never been before. Just think about it. Where did you go? Had you ever been to that place? No. So the plane or the train or the car arrives to this new place. And you've been seeing it. Maybe if you flew in, you look down and you're seeing the new city and you know you're going to be landing in a place that you've never been on the planet before. And if it's a new country, then you've got a new language there, right? You've got, I remember whenever I went to Mexico City for the first time, I think we were flying over that city for at least 20 minutes. I'm like, this is a huge city. My God, it's huge. And so we land and we go to the airport, and the airport is quite different than the airports here in the United States. And I needed to go to the bathroom, like you do when you get off a plane, right? So I go to the bathroom, and there's pictures. There's a lot of pictures of depicted graphics that are different than the graphics that we have in the States or even in Europe. And I go in the stall and there's no toilet seat. I mean, none. And I'm like, wow, this is a broken toilet. Then I go in the next stall and there's no toilet seat. And I'm like, no toilet seat. I go in the next stall. There's only 3 stalls. I would have kept going, but there was no toilet seat. So I figure out, it took a little while for me to figure it out. However, I figured out that there are no toilet seats in this particular airport, in this particular bathroom. However, I still need to go. So as ladies do, we don't touch the toilet seat anyway, so all's fair. And then I leave, and leaving to go get a taxi was a much different experience than the taxi way of getting a taxi here in the United States. It was assigned and people were communicating with each other, and I was all of a sudden an object that needed to be pushed along and put in something. And I'm like, really? This feels like I have no choice, but I went along with it. The reason why I'm sharing this is whenever we're in a place of uncertainty, that's where we're growing. And as a couple, yes, the future is going to be uncertain. Many things will be certain, right? However, the fun, the fulfillment, the growth, the possibility, the adventure is going to be uncertain. And that's going to trigger the lower mind. So we keep breathing and we focus on, this is love, this is fascination, this is growth, this is passion. And together your goals will align. Pick the top goals that you would love. So in that soul storming exercise, you're going to have a period of time between 1 and 10 years that you're envisioning. And one person may have an easy way of seeing 10 years in the future, and the other person going, I can't see next year. We honor each other where our energy is. We do not poo-poo each other or judge or hold anything against. We say, fair enough, it's awesome, cool. You have a year goal, let's look at it, let's listen to them. And then we don't judge ourselves. If our partner has a 10-year goal, a 5-year goal, a 3-year goal, and they seem like they've really got it going on and they put a lot down, and you're like, well, I just put in a few sentences. We don't compare ourselves. That's an energy drain. Simply be open and receptive. You're your own beautiful soul. And together you're even more amazing, right? Cool. And then we support each other. Chunk things down. One person may have a whole lot of very definitive goals, and the other person has definitive feelings that they want to have, experiences that they want to have. The other person's, by this date, I want to have this. By this date, I want to have this. It's all beautiful. We are each individuals, and we respond differently to the way that we define our goals. Have amazement with it. Just have amazement with it. Have fascination with it. Isn't it awesome that we can have so many different ways of defining goals? Isn't it awesome that we can have so much different energy around things that matter to our soul? I think it's beautiful, right? And now you get to couple with another person and see them in a whole new way. One of my clients, I asked him to do this with his wife. And then we checked in that next week after they'd done it over the weekend. And I said, how'd that go? And he said, I think I didn't even know my wife before this, and we've been married 12 years. And I said, tell me more about that. What do you mean? He goes, there are dreams and things that she longed for and that she's wanted that she put on the back burner, and she hasn't even thought she could have them. She'd pretty much given up these goals and these dreams that she had as a young woman. And I didn't want to be the reason why she did that. I didn't want to be the sacrifice for that. And he said she didn't even know that she had left these in the past. And whenever she started touching her soul and the calling again, she wept because she was afraid that she would live an entire life without living her dreams. And I said, isn't it awesome that you get to participate in that? It's intimate. It's very intimate. And isn't it wonderful that you get to be there alongside her as she goes for her dreams? The other thing that we want to hold great respect for and reverence for is that we're not here to give another person their dreams, honestly. We're here to watch them gain them. It's that journey like a butterfly. The caterpillar builds the chrysalis, but if we were to cut open that chrysalis and pull the butterfly out before it's time, or before it gets to fight its way out and discover itself, then we rob it of a life. And if we help people too much get what they would love by just giving it to them, we've robbed them of the journey of discovery of their own self. So we sit here and we support, we run alongside, we hold hands, we jump and we rejoice through the celebrations of each one of the triumphs we have as individuals. And isn't that the beauty of a marriage? We can't save each other from our experiences when they're tragic. And we don't want to shortcut someone's celebration of the triumph either. It's all beautiful and amazingly divinely destined, the reason why you're together with your beloved. So hopefully these tips for growing your partnership, your marriage, your relationship, your intimacy together with your beloved will help you not only align your own goals and desires and vision and wants, and be completely open to the other person and allow them that freedom to truly express their heart's desires and then to go for it. And along the journey, we need not judge, need not say, I told you so, or I didn't think so. That's the lower mind. And the lower mind, anytime it's in there complaining or criticizing or condemning or judging or comparing, anytime it's in there, it's going to feel painful. So that's not why we're here. We are here to light people up. We're here to bring hope and support and absolute love. My father passed at the age of 49, and my mother, who survived my father, within those first few months post his death, I was with her in her home, and I saw her crying. And I held her and I said, what is it, Mom? What has you so sad? Of course, she'd lost the love of her life. He passed away way too early. And so I knew it had to have something to do with Dad no longer being here. I know I wept a lot myself and seemed endless at times. And she said, I should have let him have the dream. I should have just let him have it. I don't know why, I just didn't. And I said, what dream, Mom? Oh, that Lincoln Town Car. He kept wanting to have the Lincoln Town Car. And I remembered that. Like anytime we had a free moment and where there was a car dealer nearby, a Lincoln car dealer, he would want to go test drive the Lincoln Town Car with the leather seats and the automatic dash and all the buttons that move the seat and windows go up and down automatically. And there were rear air conditioners in this beautiful vehicle. And there's so much leg room and the smell of a new vehicle. He longed for it. He wanted it. And it was his big dream. And there was a time, I believe, in my mother and father's relationship where it was possible. Would it have been a stretch? Yes, it would have been a stretch. Had they been through a lot of financial difficulty? Lord knows, yes, they had. And my mother was the conservative Capricorn, and she was the one who was always looking at all the pennies and where they're coming from and where they're going. And one of her nicknames was Coupon Mama because we couldn't buy anything if it didn't have a coupon. She was very fiscally responsible. And that version of her, which is a natural, innate way of being for my mom, saw that as something that was way far outside of the reach financially. And she asked Dad to be more responsible. Now, my dad was the dreamer. My dad was the let's go do it. We won't know how, but we're just going to make it happen. He was the person who would manifest things at the drop of a hat based on the need and the want and the desire. And it just seemed to come out of nowhere. He did listen to his beloved, my mother. I said, sounds great, honey. We'll do it in the future. No worries. He didn't know how long he had to live, and we had no clue that it was not going to be very long. And after he had passed, Mother's one regret, I remember it so deeply. Her regret was, I should have let him have it. I could have let him have it. We could have done it. I don't know why I stopped him. He wanted that car so bad. So I share this story. The universe is here to bring you joy. It's here to bring you amazement. Abundance isn't always about money. Abundance is about happiness and joy and fulfillment and connection and adventure and passion. And sometimes we listen to the lower mind and go, no, 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 no. And we live within a rule set that is limiting and painful. And sometimes we spread that limiting pain to other people based on our limiting beliefs in our own selves. You're more powerful than that. You get to stretch those limiting beliefs and go for what truly is, because we live in a prosperous, abundant universe that is here for you. Ask and it is given. Sometimes we fail to ask, or we ask in a way that feels limited already at the very beginning because we go, do I deserve this? Am I worth it? Do I have what it takes? Those are all painful questions. So instead, ask, how amazing will it be when? Give yourself over to something bigger than yourself. If it feels too painful right here, that means you haven't let your blinders off. Go to something greater than yourself. And as a couple, you're more powerful than one single person. That's why destiny has brought you together. So yes, we're going to live within means where you feel certain the roof is over the head, the bills can be paid, and then trust the stretch. Trust the stretch that allows you to grow and become more. We are all here to grow. And this year, I know, has grown you. Take inventory of where you've grown. You've had to. Was there a pivot? Was there a new level of breathing and exhaling? Was there a new level of self-assurance and understanding and resiliency? Self-trust, self-respect, self-connection? Was there a new level of vulnerability and courage? See where you grew and allow that to grow even more. So I hope you enjoyed these tips for couples doing goal setting together. And thank you to the clients who are asking about those. It's been awesome being able to record this with you. If you find this of value and you want more, we do have a YouTube channel. The best way to find that is to go to bonfirecoaching.com and click on the icons that are at the top. And there will be a YouTube icon there somewhere. And I have a beautiful team that puts all these videos out there so you can have them at your ready. And please share them, leave comments so I know how this affected you in your life. I learn from you, and we produce what you ask for. So if there are any things that you would say, I need tip on this, or I'd like some suggestions on this, by all means, please share. We also have a Facebook page for Bonfire Coaching where we would love to converse with you there. Go like our page so we can grow the community. And thank you so much. Have a beautiful holiday season. Do plan your new year. It's always great energy to reach inside, find what your soul wants, and to bring that forward just like a flower. Love you all. Tina Marie St.Cyr checking out. And I can't wait to see you soon and see everything you're creating. Bye bye.